In Miami real estate, there is a silent border that divides the luxury market. It's not a wall and it's not a gate. It's a road. US-1. If you are browsing listings online from New York or California, this road looks like just a commute. You see a pin on a map and you think, oh, these two houses are only 5 minutes apart. They must be the same. But for those of us who live here and work here, US-1 is a dividing line between two completely different philosophies of living. It's the difference between a jungle-like bohemian privacy and a manicured grand architecture. It determines where your kids go to school, how long you sit in traffic, and even how much you pay for insurance. I often have clients come to me with a $5 million budget and they feel stuck. They say, Rebecca, we love the history and the Bay Breeze on the east side, but we love the land and the elevation on the west side. Where should we put our money? Honestly, it's the hardest decision to make because nobody wants to make a $5 million mistake. This is the question we're answering today. We are breaking down the $5 million divide. We are going to look at the Riviera and Ponce Davis on the east versus the Biltmore and Shenley Park on the west. We're not just comparing price per square foot. We're comparing the school run, the flood zones, the Saturday morning coffee routines, and ultimately, which side holds its value best for your specific goals. By the end of this video, you won't just know which side is better, you'll know which side feels more like home. Let's start east of US-1. Locally, we often refer to it as the Bayside or the Old Cutler Corridor. This includes neighborhoods like Riviera section of Coral Gables, Ponce Davis, High Pines, and Pinecrest. The appeal, the old Florida romance. If you choose to buy east of US-1, you are buying into that feeling that is impossible to replicate. It is that old Florida dream. It's damp, it's green, and it's incredibly private. The streets here aren't just roads. They are winding tunnels of old century oak and banyan trees. I always tell my clients, roll down your windows when you drive east of the highway. You can literally feel the temperature drop by 2 or 3 degrees because of the canopy is so thick. There is a specific prestige to this side of the highway. It's where Miami's oldest families planted their roots. You are closer to the water, which means you get the bay breeze in the evenings that you just don't get inland. It feels organic, almost like living in a very expansive botanical garden. So what's the $5 million product? So what does $5 million actually buy you here? Now, I need to be real with you as a friend. In neighborhoods like Riviera section of Ponce Davis, $5 million puts you in a home that is all about charm and location, but not necessarily the size. You are likely looking at a renovated 1950s ranch or a classic Mediterranean home, probably around 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. You have to prepare yourself for the charm tax. That means smaller closets, lower ceilings, and maybe a layout that isn't quite open concept. You might not get the brand new construction with 20-foot ceilings at this price point, but you are paying for the land value and the scarcity. When you buy east, you are securing an asset in a zone where land is finite. You are bordered by the ocean. They physically cannot make any more of this land, and that is why the east side historically has been the safe haven for capital preservation. The lifestyle factor living east means your life revolves around the water and the village centers. You are minutes from the best private schools like Carrollton and Ransom and St. Philip's. Your kids can bike to school without crossing any major highways. Your Saturday mornings probably involve a golf cart ride to the farmer's market in the Grove or a quick bike ride down Old Cutler to Matheson Hammock Park. It definitely is a slower, more tropical pace of life. It's for the person who wants to feel hidden right away. Now let's cross the highway. If the east is about romance, the west is about grandeur and space. When we talk about west of US-1 in the luxury market, we're talking about the North Gables, home to the Biltmore Hotel, Country Club Prado, Shenley Park, and Continental Park. The appeal, the city beautiful, and elevation. Do not let the word west fool you. I think sometimes people hear west and they think far away. That is not the case here. Some of the most historic and valuable real estate in Florida sits right here. The Biltmore section of Coral Gables is arguably the most architecturally stunning neighborhood in the city. You have wide European-style boulevards and the historic Biltmore Hotel as your neighbor. It feels grand, it feels planned, it feels like you are living in a piece of history. But here is the major practical advantage that draws people west: elevation. A large portion of the North Gables and Shenley Park sits on a glorious ridge. This is Flood Zone X. For my pragmatic buyers, this is everything. For many of my clients, this is the deciding factor. Living here means you often do not require flood insurance. You are sitting high and dry, which is a massive peace of mind and financial saving for during hurricane season. You aren't waking up in a panic every time it rains at high tide. The $5 million product, West. This is where the divide becomes obvious. The same $5 million budget that bought you a 3,500 square foot renovated ranch on the east side, on the west side, specifically in areas like Shenley Park or Continental Park, that money can buy you a brand new 6,000 square foot modern estate. We are talking about the wow factor. We are talking 12-foot ceilings, 3-car garage, maid's quarters, the smart home technology. You walk in and everything is new. The AC is new, the roof is new, the pool is new. If you prioritize volume, newness, and move-in ready product, the West Side wins on pure metrics. You get more house for your money because the land prices, while high, are slightly softer than the waterfront East. It's the smart play if you have a big family and need space to breathe. Now we have to talk about the logistics, because you don't just live in a house, you live in a city. And in Miami, traffic dictates your quality of life. The commute reality, the biggest hesitation I hear about the West Side is the commute. And let's be transparent, if you work in Brickell or downtown, living east of US-1 does shave about 15 to 20 minutes off your rush hour drive. You have a straight shot up South Bayshore Drive or Old Cutler Road. You can sip on your coffee and enjoy the bay view while you drive. However, the West Side has a secret weapon: Coral Way and Bird Road. If you live in the North Gables, which is west of US-1, you can actually have easier access to the airport and the 836 Expressway. So if you travel for business often, if you're constantly flying out of MIA, the West Side might actually be more convenient for you. You avoid all of the school traffic trapped in the coast. The school run. This is the tiebreaker for families. Most of the major private schools are located closer to the bay, east. If you live west, you'll be crossing US-1 every morning. And I won't lie to you, crossing US-1 at 7:45 a.m. is practically a contact sport. But there is a catch. If you choose the Biltmore area or Shenley Park, you are central. You are literally in the middle of everything. You can get to Belen, Columbus, or St. Teresa relatively easily. It's not about good or bad traffic. It's about where you're going. This is why when we work together, the first thing that I do is look at your office and your kid's school, and we reverse engineer the location from there. I want to share 2 quick stories to show you that there is no wrong choice here. It's only the right choice for you. Client A, the East buyer. I worked with a couple from Boston, and they were leaving the cold. They wanted the quintessential Miami fantasy. They didn't care if the house needed a brand new kitchen or if the closets were small. They wanted to walk under the banyan trees and be 5 minutes from the sailboat in the Grove. They bought in the Riviera section east of US-1. For them, the appreciation of the land and the prestige of the address was worth the trade-off in square footage. They were incredibly happy. Client B, the West buyer. Then I had the family from Texas. They looked at all the East Side homes and felt claustrophobic. They were used to more space. They wanted the high ceilings, the big bedrooms for the kids, and the massive kitchen. We looked east, but everything felt too small for them. We took them west to the Biltmore area. They found a stunning, larger lot, pool, and a home that was fully updated. They saved on flood insurance, they got the space they needed, and they loved the grandeur of the neighborhood. Both clients spent $5 million, but made excellent investments. and they bought totally different lifestyles. So east or west? If you want the legacy, the bay breeze, and the proximity to the Grove, look east. If you want the architectural grandeur, the elevation, and more square footage for your investment, look west. The most important thing is that you don't make this decision based off of a map alone. You need to get in the car, you need to drive these streets and see how they feel at times that you actually live there. School drop-off, rush hour, weekend mornings. Elevation here isn't a big hill that you feel in your car. It shows up more in your flood zones, your insurance, and how your street behaves when it rains. If you want real numbers behind it, I can prepare a customized east-west comparison for you. Things like recent sales, elevation and flood considerations, and what your budget realistically buys on each side of US-1. If you tell me your price range, schools, and preferred neighborhoods, my team and I can build the brief around your search, not just a generic zip code average. Don't sign a contract without understanding those basics. If you'd like that kind of breakdown for your move, send me a message and book a consultation and mention the word east versus west. We can go through the school boundaries, the flood zones, and typical insurance realities together. And if you're ready, we can go drive the neighborhood so that you can feel the difference yourself. I'm Rebeca Cruz with RealMiami. Whether east or west, I'm here to help you find your place in this incredible city. If this was helpful, please like and share this video. It really helps more people find it. Subscribe for weekly Miami real estate videos, and I'll see you in the next one.
Ahí está bien.
But you're paying for the land value at poquito más right there. Your life revolves. It rolled up too much. When you buy east, you are.
Drink.
You're securing an asset in a zone where land is finite. Elevation here isn't a big heel. It's fine right there.